everyone. You are listening to your Palm Beach Guide with the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce. My name is Kiana Rivera, and I'm the Vice President of Membership and Program Development here at the Chamber. Today, we are joined by our special guest, Joel Cohen. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Great. I didn't know I was such special. Thank you.
You are special. Oh, my gosh. I just remember when I first joined the Chamber, you were one of the first people I met, and you were so welcoming because I was so new and just so green, and I had no idea what the heck I was doing. Still don't sometimes. I just question. But you were wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes. So I'm just so happy to have you on. So thank
Glad
you
to
for
be here.
agreeing. Yes. So what we'll do is real quick, we'll start out. I just want you to tell me a little bit about your history, how you got to Palm Beach, and really, I mean, I want to hear about your photography, everything. So tell me.
Okay. Briefly.
No, don't be brief. We got time. We got time.
Okay.
Don't be brief.
I was in the advertising business in New York City.
How long were you in New York for?
53 years.
Oh, wow.
I was born in Manhattan and did a borough tour.
Nice.
You know, Queens and back to Manhattan. And I was in the advertising business for a long time. And I had a small boutique agency with a partner. And sometimes partner relationships don't always work out very well. So I found myself unemployed and 50-something years old, which is virtually impossible to get a job in the advertising business in New York at that age. Because, you know, for the kind of money I would want, they could hire 3 people and work them to death.
Right, 100%. So. Well, when you were in New York working on those campaigns, what were some of those signature campaigns you worked on? Do you remember?
I worked. I did a lot, believe it or not, Singer Sewing Machine Company. Remember them?
Yeah.
I spent years working on that. And then we had this small boutique agency, and we would do projects for pharmaceutical companies, Bic pens.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Ferrero Rocher chocolates, that kind of stuff, which I can't stop eating. I love them. Those little balls with
those are so good.
They're really fabulous. And we were looking for something to do that was retirement proof. And we had a lot of friends in the art business because
of the industry you were in, right.
And I was a member of the Soho Photo Gallery down in Soho when nobody wanted to go to Soho. And now it's the hottest place in New York. And we thought, well, why don't we open an art gallery? So we started traveling. We went to California, because I love California.
Really? Where in California?
We were looking, we went to, we did the whole trip. We went from LA up north.
Oh, wow, so the whole
to
state.
San Francisco.
Okay, great.
And we went to Sonoma, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And it's a great story because we were saying, we could open a gallery here. Look, there's an empty space, and there's another one. So we went into some place to get some ice cream. And the guy said, hey, where are you guys from? I said, well, we're from New York. What are you doing here? Well, we want to open up an art gallery. He goes, and what are you going to do for a living? I said, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
He said, like 3 months a year, is the season in California, in the winter.
Right.
In the summer, and he said, you're going to have to find a job for the rest of the year. So we got back on the plane and came back. You're like, forget it. To New York. And my wife, Joyce's parents, were living here. And she goes, well, why don't I go to Florida? See what's going on in Florida. So I got on a plane and...
Well, and what did you choose Palm Beach immediately? Did you know, or did you poke around Florida?
We did the West Palm Beach area because her parents were here, and I found a space on Dixie Highway, just south of Clematis Street.
Yeah. And what was that like back then? Empty or full?
Well, we were very close friends with the hookers.
Oh, good.
They waved
there you
every
go.
time they passed by.
You're like, hey, it's good to see you.
They were so friendly. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And you step on a couple of crack vials on your way into, but we were there
different time.
We were there for 2 years, and it turned out that a lot of our customers were from Palm Beach. So we said, why don't we just move to Palm Beach, because I'm tired of waving at the hookers.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So we opened up right here on South County Road, 300 South County Road, which is now a French bakery.
Wow.
And we were there another 5 years. So it was a total of 7 years of the art gallery.
Was it primarily your art, or was it other?
I didn't show any of my work.
None?
Actually.
Oh, my goodness.
It was all, we brought a lot of people with us, our friends from New York.
Right.
Who were artists. And I think it was probably at that time, which is now, we're talking 23 years ago. I think it was a little too avant-garde for this market.
Oh, okay.
And nobody cared.
Right.
So we dumped all our friends and took in a bunch of local artists.
Okay.
Like Bruce Helander and
Yes.
Helmut Kohler and you know, people like that who were known in the community, and Tom Tribby, and they were known in the community.
Right.
And people came in and bought their art, so we were happy.
Was there a lot of local artists at that time that had the presence here and would have that following that you're
Not
looking
like
for?
now.
Not like now. Okay.
Now everybody's an artist. You know,
Well,
they
yeah.
take 3 classes at the Armory Art Center.
And they're
think
like, I'm a pro.
They think, I'm an artist.
Right.
No, not nearly. Just a few, a handful. And
Right.
we had most of them at our gallery.
Wow.
And we did really well. And then we made part of it a framing operation,
Okay.
which helped
Right.
with revenue and,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And
And you were all year round at this point.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
well, summers were kind of quiet.
Quiet. Kind of quiet. I'm sure they were dead.
But they're
honestly.
really not anymore.
Not anymore.
The town has changed tremendously.
Right.
I mean, when we first moved here, half the stores on Worth Avenue were closed for the summer.
Right. Even now, I walked down Worth Avenue and I saw a sign that said, we're closed for the summer, come back. And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Like,
only 1 or 2.
It
used
is
to be the
very
whole street.
right. Yeah, 1 or 2. That's why I was so surprised to see it
Yeah.
because I was like, oh wow. I guess maybe they can do it, whatever. But
Well, they
good
may
for
have
them.
another location.
Or they
in
probably have
Nantucket or something,
right. They
yeah.
probably transferred and had that other location. So
Yeah,
you're probably
but
right.
Worth Avenue was a ghost town.
Wow.
In the summers. So now it's totally changed.
Totally changed.
But we had a great time. We did some picture framing too, and one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, tell.
I have a couple of stories that always cracked us up. We were sitting there one day, and a couple walked in, who were. They literally looked like they just climbed out of a dumpster. I mean, they were a hot mess.
Really?
Yes, and that was a time when one of the big Art Palm Beach shows
Right.
had just started.
Okay.
So there were a lot of out-of-towners
Okay.
in Palm Beach. And this couple came in, and they just looked around and would go, we'll take that, we'll take that, and we'll take that. And they dropped like $15,000 in 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And they were an oil family from Oklahoma. And
you're like,
they looked
you
like
never
they
know.
just got out of the oil field.
Right.
But they spent money, so we were very happy.
Oh, good.
And my other favorite was a woman came in one day and looked around, and she's looking around, and she's, oh, you do framing too? I said, yeah. And she's looking around, she goes, I'll be right back. And she runs across the street to her Mercedes and pulls out a pillow.
Oh
And she
my.
starts running around the room, and she goes, oh, this works, I'll take that.
Oh, to match the pillow.
To match the pillow.
Oh my goodness, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I just sometimes when you have a business on Palm Beach, you see everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You just never know what's going to happen, and I think that's what makes this town so unique because, like you said, they either could look like they just crawled out of a dumpster or a woman in a Mercedes holding a fancy pillow.
Right.
You just never know. So
Right.
I think that's wonderful that
Well,
you,
one,
that you
one
have
of the,
that.
one of the fun things that happened, which relates to the chamber, is
Right.
when we moved here, we joined the chamber 23 years ago.
Wow.
So at that time, a guy named Jesse Newman
Right?
was
Right.
running the chamber. He
What was it like? Tell me what was it like?
It was like a monthly breakfast club. But what was funny is his office was right down the block from our gallery.
Yeah.
And we used to see him all the time. Hi, Jesse. And you go, hi, Joel. How you doing? Hi, Joyce. How are you? And one day he stopped and we're talking. And I said, Jesse, you've been in Palm Beach for 100 years. You're a public relations guy. I said, what's the secret here to get business?
Yeah, what did he
said,
say?
We've been here. We've tried everything. We're doing advertising. We're doing this. And he looked at me and goes, I have absolutely no idea. And he walked away.
Oh, he
from
walked
me.
away? He had no advice.
He had no advice.
Oh, man.
Which was kind of funny.
That is funny. And then he just was like, all right, that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Well, you've been in the art business for first, I want to circle back on the fact that you've never shown your own art. Why?
Well, because at that time, it's changed. Not a lot, unfortunately, but it has changed. I do primarily black and white photography, and that, in my estimation, it's an urban art.
Right.
This is not an urban environment. People here have giant houses with giant walls, and they want giant, colorful art that matches the pillow.
Right.
So it really wasn't I mean, I think I could have put my stuff out on the street at night and gone home and come back the next day and it'd still be there.
Really?
You know?
Oh, man. Wow.
But, and nobody really wanted it, so we didn't want to take up wall space
Yeah.
with something that nobody's going to buy.
So what do you have with them now? Where are they? Are they in your
my
house?
work?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're very involved with the Cultural Council.
Okay.
We've been members for
Good.
25
Yeah.
years. And I've been in a dozen shows at the Cultural Council and, other places here and there
Okay.
in the county.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I shoot a lot is because I'm a car nut.
Mm-hmm.
I shoot cars, but I don't shoot cars. I shoot parts of cars.
Parts of cars,
tail
yeah.
lights and
Okay.
logos and
Right.
stuff like that. So I had a show right down the street here at Palm Beach Frame Makers,
Okay.
right on the tail end of COVID.
Right.
And it was the most successful show I ever had in my life.
Wow.
I sold out half the show.
Really?
I was so happy. I couldn't tell you.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. And then after that, one of the guys who bought one of the pieces had me come over to his house here in Palm Beach and shoot his Porsche.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
I did shots, and he bought 2 more pieces. So that was my most successful show.
Jeez. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Well, and too, I love that you're like, yeah, that was great. And then, okay, keep going. Move on to the next.
Yeah, what's the choice?
Right. Very, very true. Well, real quick, you're listening to Your Palm Beach Guide with the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce, and our guest today is Joel Cohen. And again, we're talking a little bit about his history in New York and then in West Palm Beach and Palm Beach. And I want to pivot real quick, especially because now that we've heard the history of like how you got here, the long-standing relationship you've had with both West Palm and Palm Beach, both ways. Kind of walk me through how you were able to, I know you talked to Jesse Newman about this, but how were you able to secure business and were able to have a business here in the town? Because so many people, even now a part of the chamber, ask us like, I need to promote my business. How do I get clients? Like, what would you give advice to those, especially now that we've had this influx of just
Sure.
newcomers?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's all about networking.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one word. That's
Right,
it.
networking, okay.
People say to me, like when it comes to the chamber,
Mm-hmm.
oh, am I going to get business out of the chamber? I said, maybe, maybe not.
Right,
The whole point to me was to meet people.
right.
That's
Absolutely.
what the first hour of the chamber meeting is every month, is to meet people,
Right.
swap business cards, and go after them if there's something compatible going
Right.
on. Had we gotten a lot of business out of the chamber meetings over a 23-year period? We got some.
Yeah,
But then, I used to do talks at, other
Right.
organizations, and I'd occasionally get a piece of business out of that.
right.
So you just got to just spread yourself out as much as possible and find compatible
Right.
people and businesses and go after them.
And creating those partnerships, I like that you mentioned that, because I get so many people who all the time they join the chamber and then a year later I meet them and then they disappear for a year.
Because they didn't get what they thought was going to be
Right.
$1 million contract. from
Exactly.
somebody.
Exactly. And I say this, it's like, I feel like I'm so transparent, especially when we come to like member orientation and stuff, where it's like you get in what you put in,
Right.
or you get out what you put in. And it's so true here. Even like I'm a prime example of when I before I even joined the chamber as like an employee, I was a volunteer. It's like I did the ambassadors, I did the young professionals, and like right out of college, I was like, heck, I got to meet some people. I got to do something to
Yeah.
start my career. So I love
Sure.
that you say that, because so many people come in with this mindset that it's like, okay, I joined, the business is now going to come to me. It's going to land at my door.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't,
And-
right?
And also, you could meet somebody at the meeting on September 10th
Right.
and maybe get business out of them 2 years later.
2 years later, exactly.
But they know who you are. So
Right.
the whole point is to get yourself in front of somebody so that when they need a new pair of glasses
Right.
and they look at your business card and you sell glasses, they
Right.
go, oh, yeah, I remember her. I met her at the chamber a year ago.
Right.
Dial her up.
100%.
I don't mean dial. I mean.
Well, press the numbers on our phone, right?
Right.
So can you share a little bit of some of the art shows that you've gone to now that you really enjoy? Like some that you're just like, especially now that, you might not own your gallery anymore, but and you never lose that as an artist, how
No.
much you love art. And even if you aren't showing your own work, you I know I see you at gallery events all the time. Like, what's one, I guess, is it genre of art, or what is it? Maybe style of art that you are really called to when you see it.
Well, I'm not somebody who's into abstract art. I never was. When I was like 2, I didn't like abstract art. I didn't get it. I'm not interested. If I look at a piece of art, a photograph or a canvas, and I can't recognize what's going on,
Then you're like, I'm out.
I'm out of here. It's just throwing paint at a
Right,
canvas.
exactly.
I'm sure millions of people will disagree with me,
Oh,
but
that's okay. This
the
is
way
your
it
podcast, so who cares?
And my favorite kind of art has always been photorealism.
Okay.
And there's a couple of galleries in New York that's all they show, and there are these amazing, astounding paintings that look like photographs until you get real close and you go, oh my God, it's a painting.
Really?
And that's what I love.
Oh, wow.
So there's actually like a coffee table book that's 4 inches thick that called Photorealism.
Right.
That's an amazing book. Every page you turn, you go, oh, a nice photograph. No, it's not. It's a painting.
It's a painting. Wow.
And there's one lady, her name is Audrey Flack, very famous painter, and she'll do shelves, glass shelves, with 20 shiny things on each shelf,
Wow.
with a billion reflections going on, and you look at it and you go, that's a photograph. I mean, no, it's a painting.
Don't you ever wonder, like, the process in their brain of how they're able to separate that? Because I am not an artist at all. Like, I took ceramics in college just because I liked the feel of it.
Okay.
But, like, to look at and to paint, especially on just like a canvas or something like you're talking about, that it's so flat, I can never get the dimensions right.
But that's okay.
All my lines are the same, or I don't know, I draw an X, I'm like, nope. So I wonder, like, what happens in their brain where they're able to separate and see that, like, they see it at such a different, it's just so cool and interesting how their minds work.
Well,
you know?
I'm kind of in the same spot when
Right.
it comes to photography. The first, in like 3rd grade, the teacher called up my mother and said, he can actually draw a circle. You should get him some art lessons.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So my mother started, there was an artist friend of hers who lived like literally around the corner, and I would go over to her house, once a week and take a 1-hour art
Right.
class,
Oh, wow.
So you draw this bowl of fruit with a wine bottle next to it.
Yeah.
Everybody does that when they're
Right.
starting. And I enjoyed it until I got my first camera, and then it was like, okay,
Tell me
I'm
about
done.
your first camera.
It was a little box camera.
Okay. Do you still have it?
No, I don't have that camera, but
Okay.
I rebought it. I found it at,
Oh, you did?
at
Okay.
the antique show out.
So cool,
And
okay.
I bought it sitting in a bin in the garage, of course.
Yeah.
But I had to buy it, and it had a little flash on top. Remember flash bulbs?
Right.
And that was my first camera.
Who gave it to you, or did you buy it?
My Aunt Jean.
Your Aunt Jean. She saw your photography gift
Yes, who
immediately.
died a year ago at 103.
Oh man!
Yeah,
wow.
she was fabulous lady.
Aunt
She
Jean.
promoted my creativity,
Wow!
and I never forget that.
Wow!
And obviously it wasn't a fancy camera, but
No, but
took
you.
pictures.
Yes, you took pictures, and that's like what sparked it.
Yeah.
That's what sparked your love for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You need to get this camera out of the storage box.
I
and
know, it's
Put
just-
it
it's
up
just
there.
kinda-
Put it up on a shelf somewhere at least, so somebody
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
it.
thank you, Aunt Jean.
Yes, thank
Right.
you, Aunt Jean. Rest in peace. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
That was my start.
And then
I must have been, I don't know, 10, 11 years old at that point,
Wow.
and I just kept going with it.
Well, what I love now is just that all of those cameras are coming back.
Yes.
And it's
Film is back.
Film is back.
Not that I
And-
care, but
well,
film
I
is
know,
back.
but like even like Gabby has so many cameras. She's into photography,
Oh, okay.
and she has this plug where you can plug into your phone and transfer. It's like it's like an antique camera, but jazzed up that you can still transfer it somehow digitally.
Yep.
I don't know how to describe it, but even like she gave me, I bought one of her bought a camera off of her, and I plug in my thing to my phone and I can transfer it like
Yes, you
so
can.
easily.
Yeah, a lot of them can do that now.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
But that's just, I love how it all comes back. So you never know. Watch, you'll get some film. Hopefully, you need to start shooting again.
Well, film. Well, I do, but I shoot digital.
Oh, okay.
And I hear lots of people arguing, film's better, just
Oh.
like vinyl's better.
Right.
No, it's not better. It's
Yeah.
just different.
Yeah.
Film was great, but I had a dark room.
Yes, you did.
You know, with nasty chemicals,
Yeah.
and it was fun, but
Time consuming,
I'm
right?
much happier with digital.
Good.
And if you do it right, and you know what you're doing, and I kind of think I do,
Yeah,
nobody can tell the difference between film and digital.
right.
I did that once. I had some prints made in New York. And I took him to this master printer. I said, "Can you do better than this?" He goes, "No, you did fine. Have a nice day." And I
Oh,
left.
good. And he left.
So, he never did them because he said, "I can't improve on this. You did fine.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Goodbye."
Okay.
So, it's a matter of learning the technology, learning the techniques. And it's not that difficult. It's not brain surgery.
Right.
It's just being cautious and doing it right.
I love that. Well, Joel, thank you so much for being on our podcast today.
I'm very happy to be here. I
And,
can't wait for the next meeting.
Absolutely. So everyone, please stay tuned. If you want to know about events and stuff, go to our website. If you want to connect with Joel, his picture is on our website as well. So please reach out to him, meet him. He's one of our ambassadors. And thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.